Hi there, listener. You're about to experience TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games, and there will be plenty of game talk, but also copious amounts of crude, off-color, offensive, and immature speech. So if you are of a rather sensitive humor constitution, we're just letting you know what you're in for with this show. It has games. It has jokes. You know, just games and jokes. Take the games, take the jokes, and have a good time.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's a show that happens twice a week where two old guys and then one guy who is a few months older but still 30, so he still qualifies as an older guy.
Old guy.
Not
older guy.
Play
older guys older than us.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Older guy's another Mega Man boss. Yeah. We're talk about, we say old games, but it's Other Shit Monday, so anything flies.
Yeah.
Anything flies.
We could talk about board games if we wanted to.
True. Or we could interview a friend.
Yeah.
For a while.
Why not?
People may or may not be into. So
yeah,
whatever.
It's fine.
But this week, we'll be transparent about exactly what we're going. We're trying something different this week. We are busting our... What kind of cherry would I call this?
I really
How
don't
would I
like
describe
that.
this?
I really don't like that turn of phrase.
We have a guest on that is not in the studio. We are bringing someone via the pipes that Eisenhower set up called the internet.
Yes.
And so
the Eisen pipes.
The Eisen pipes. So we are bringing in of Super Bomberman 2 fame, Ramon Castillo.
Hey, Ramon. Hey. You're our first Skype guest host.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I feel fancy.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
This is extremely stressful for me to set this up.
Yeah.
Well, let it be known that I know the feeling of audio-video nightmares. So, hi, I'm Ramon. I enjoy these cardboard cutouts of Tyler and Dave I'm staring at.
We made those special mail out to you.
Wait, you didn't get the real dolls that we sent you?
The Tyler and Dave real sex dolls. Oh,
I did get a UPS tracking order.
I saved all my beard hair to have it transplanted into this real sex doll. Now the amount of equipment that Dave has going around him, he looks like a hacker in like the Italian Job right now.
I need to be in a panel van right now.
So since Ramon is on, we're doing a bit of a crossover special between TADPOG and Countdown's Corner.
What up? Yep.
So on here, we'll be talking about Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS. And on Countdown's Corner, we'll be discussing Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U. We always, one thing like, I think it's important, and Dave is the one who knows how important it is and enforces it, our audio quality, because we try to do as best as we can for the minimum amount of money that we try to spend.
We're all about value. Mm-hmm. We're all about audio value quality.
So give us some feedback on this episode, what you think about it, how it sounded to you, people listening in cars and headphones, and how it came across.
Yeah.
So we can work on it and try to make it better.
Otherwise, we could dub it the submarine episode.
I think no matter what, it's going to sound better than any of the shows we recorded in Jacob's apartment.
Oh man, because I didn't listen to that episode after we did it. So
it's bad.
When Ramon commented, "Hey, you even recorded it in a bathysphere," I was like, "What are you talking about?" Till like 6 months later, I hit play and I was like, "Oh, that's what he's talking about."
Yeah, it's really bad. So hey, if you haven't listened to that yet, go check out the BioShock episode.
It's very potato quality.
Yes, it is. It's probably that and the X-Men Mutant Apocalypse are like recorded at the same time, pretty much. So those are like the worst sounding episodes we've had. Even the one where Miller messed up our audio, like that sounds better.
Yeah. Because God, who would have thought it'd sound bad if my microphone was sitting on like 8 books and balanced with like pencils on the either side? Wouldn't sound great.
Little backstory to that I was super like stressed out too because like our audio equipment, like something broke. And so it was just like, I can't remember what broke. It wasn't clearly a huge deal, but like, it was just great. We're fucking moving shit around and like now shit's breaking. Now what? What's going to happen now?
Every time we pack stuff up, something breaks inevitably, no matter how careful we are.
Which we're usually not. That might be the problem.
No matter how carefully we sling just a bag of a Walmart sack full of audio equipment into the back seat.
Yeah. That sounds about normal.
That's how I travel. That's my luggage.
Yeah.
But first things first, I'm your bearded host, Tyler. And I was at work today using the bathroom and had a regretful recall. So I immediately text Dave and was like, here's what I'm going to talk about on the show.
And it
That way
sounded
I
really
don't forget.
good. So you're pulling out some big guns tonight.
So this was, I believe I was a freshman in high school. And it was my theater class. And there were a small group of girls. One of them had a crush on me and thought I was really funny.
Don't brag.
I mean, at least humble brag.
I mean, I'd be bragging if she was like attractive, but she wasn't. So
Oh, there it is.
So
Yeah, we do.
there
We
you
got
go.
it.
There you go. And then but she was always talking me up to like her other friends. There was like this small clique of like 6 girls in the drama class who thought I was really funny. And I remember when I forget what the group or guy is that does it. Superfly for a white guy.
That was The Offspring.
Offspring. Thank you.
Yeah.
So whenever the Offspring came up with that song, I mean, it was. I remember it was huge when it came out.
It's not huge still.
It's still pretty big. It's still pretty big.
I mean, I'm wearing the shirt right now.
I want to say Josh Nance had that single too. I want to say he did.
I had that album.
Yeah.
I think it was Americana.
Overnight, remember, everybody was talking about this song, and it took me a week after hearing about it to ever actually hear the song. Like, I'd never heard it. I think in the morning, I would mostly listen to like Bob and Tom on the way to school, and then like I just didn't listen to music on the radio at home, so I just missed me completely for like a week or two. And I remember a girl that had a crush on me we had to do some kind of project after school, and she was talking to me, and I went over and I was talking to the group of girls, 2 of which were incredibly attractive. But we were all talking back and forth, and that song got brought up, and they were talking about how funny it was, blah, blah, blah. And the really hot girl turns and looks at me. She's like, "Oh, I bet you would say that or sing that hilariously."
You would sing it hilariously? Is that what she said?
Yeah, like I would put some kind of funny spin on it. And they're like, "Oh," so then they all like turned to me and they're like, "Oh yeah, do it, do the line." They're like, "I've never heard this song. I have only heard people saying the line to each other and laughing."
Mm-hmm.
So like they're all just turning to look at me. They're like, do it, Todd, do it." So I just like, I don't want to say I haven't heard this super popular song. So then like I just gave this weird like the closest, now looking back on it, the closest interpretation I can see that
It's an 8-minute monologue.
well, the way my mind interpreted like what I'd heard from various people, and my mind put it together and hashed it back out, was the same way that like Wright said Fred would do it. So it was in like this weird pseudo-sexual, like, I was like, "Pretty fly for a white guy," like no bearing on the song. And like I say it back like it's gonna be funny, and a girl who has a crush on me just like freezes. Like she has like a kind of a fading smile on her face that's just nothing. Like she just looking at me, just blank face. Like she likes me, so she wants to laugh,
Yeah.
but it is not funny. It's just weird. And like all the other girls are just like stone faced, just looking at me until like it hangs in the air like that for like 5 seconds before girl that has a crush on me just like, oh man. So do you know your lines for the show?
let's never say.
Let's never bring this up ever again.
Do you think about it every time you hear the song? Because I know you listen to it.
I do.
You were just ahead of the time. That was just a slam poetry session.
Tyler is a big fan of slam poetry.
That's true.
Right?
That's true. People know a few things about me. Slam poetry.
He loves large breasts and slam poetry. In that order.
That's
Really
about
easy to
it.
put together.
And cooking.
Oh yeah, that too. Well, women.
Well, I said breasts already.
Yeah.
That line goes both ways. It's fine.
There's our misogyny count for the show. Got that out of the way.
No, Bailey J's fine. You put tits on whatever, and I'll roll with it. It's fine.
What's up, Internet? I'm Dave. I'm your bespectacled host. And man, I thought of something the other day I hadn't thought of in a really long time. I had trouble. I always grasped and wrestled with faith growing up. And I remember this is going to sound like it's completely unrelated because it is. I loved the Ninja Turtles when I was a child. Loved the Ninja Turtles. Like, I mean, I watched the show. I had all of the toys up until they started doing the ridiculous sports line, and then I was like, I'm done. I did not get the giraffe, the basketball playing giraffe, but I did read a lot of the comics. I read like Eastman and Laird's original run, which my mom had no idea had blood and titties in it. But I also read the.
It's like, I hope that was the tagline. Ninja Turtles, blood and titties.
I also read the Archie Comics version, which unfortunately did not have blood or titties, but the Ninja Turtles did something in that which was kind of foreign to me. They meditated, and after they meditated, they always felt better. And Splinter would teach them how to meditate. So I remember reading an issue of Archie Comics Ninja Turtles, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to meditate because it seems like that is what the Ninja Turtles do, and they always do the right thing, and they're really cool. So I'm going to do that. And I remember getting a little like bath towel and laying it on the floor and sitting crisscross applesauce. And
we're very PC here.
and meditating. And I thought it was pretty cool. It helped me with my test that day, I'm sure. And my bologna tasted better. I mean, colors were brighter. So everything's cool. So I decided, all right, this meditation thing is really working for me. I'm gonna do this every day, and I did until the next month when the Archie Comics Ninja Turtles came out, and I read the comic from front to back like I always do. And what was interesting is they don't really do this in comics anymore. In a lot of comics at least, but they used to publish letters to the editor that people would send in. And I remember reading this one issue and getting to the letters of the editor. And someone had written in a letter saying that they were very disappointed with Archie Comics for including satanic rituals in their comics. And I was like, what? And I kept reading, and they go on about meditating is not something that a follower of Jesus Christ would do. It's a follower of the Dark Lord Satan. And I lost my mind. I freaked out. I was like, oh, I've been doing this for a month. Like I got really antsy. And then for 3 days, I held on to it because I was like scared to tell my mom that I had meditated.
Mom, I worship the devil. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Well, son, is it working for you?
Finally, I did tell her. And she had no fucking clue what I was talking about. She was actually mad that they published that letter.
Well, yeah, I would be. If I were her, I'd be too. God, that is weird.
So there we go. That's my introduction to my satanic rituals that I do now and don't have a problem. I don't even bat an eye.
Yeah, you guys want me to do an intro?
Yeah, man. What's up, Ramon?
Well, I am Ramon, your anime-haired guest host. And, it's funny. I listen to a lot of TADPOG, and those are probably the safest intros you've ever done. Ever. So I have basically been like turning my gears for like a week to come up with an intro story that would be worthy of TADPOG. So now I feel it's going to be way, way worse.
Hey, now you know how I feel sometimes when Tyler gives one that isn't about finger blasting a chick or watching a girl get finger blasted. I'm like, oh God, I gotta reel this one back in. I wonder. You mentioned that you have anime hair.
I mean, yeah, I do have anime hair.
One of my favorite memories about you, Ramon, is, and I don't even think you even know this happened. When you lived in Paducah, you and I went to Taco Bell. And we were at Taco Bell, and as we were going through the line, there was someone in front of us who saw your hair, reached out and touched it while you were talking to me, and you did not notice. And then I was like, that guy just touched your hair, and you were like, yeah, it happens sometimes.
I mean, people fawning over me.
And that actually may have been Taco John's.
No, it was specific. I specifically remember Taco Bell.
I don't know if I remember. I mean, I went to, Paducah, Tillman. So, I mean, half the people there who worked went to Taco John's. The other half went to Taco Bell. So
It was special circumstances. It was the Taco Bell behind El Chico.
Oh, okay.
So we're angling for a Taco John sponsorship. So we'll say that it had to be a Taco Bell because no stranger would touch your hair at a Taco John's. They're
That just doesn't happen.
I actually vaguely remember this. The only reason I say I thought it might be Taco John's is I actually knew like every single person that worked at Taco John's by the school because I worked there for like 3 weeks.
That's the one on Jackson Street for our listeners.
You want to go?
The same street as Red's Donuts and Just Hamburgers.
Yes.
Okay.
All great spots.
All good things to put in the show notes, and people would be like, "What the fuck?"
So when you're coming to your Paducah tour, make sure to. That's all you.
Memories and diarrhea. Two favorite things. So that doesn't surprise me at all. And you know what's funny is if they had done that to you, you probably would have snapped.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
So I got used to it over
Double
the years.
devil.
Just touching my hair, I was like, yeah, whatever, it's a thing, I guess.
So they just would have got scalp with me, so I would have known immediately.
You would have been like, what? What was that? I heard a whoosh. But yeah, so yeah, that's funny though that you say that. So anyway, so I was, so this is my intro, and I just remembered it the other night when we actually had everybody over to try out Smash, and one of the girls that was over was kind of down in the dumps, and it was her boyfriend's birthday the next day. My good buddy Chris Hoots, it's his birthday yesterday, and
Happy birthday, Chris Hoots.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Chris Hoots. He'll actually listen to this episode. He was actually on when Tyler was in the Twitch stream, actually. And so anyway, so his girlfriend was kind of down in the dumps, and she's super cool. And I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. So the last question I asked before the end of the night, right before they were going to leave, is like, okay, Gabby, if Chris wanted, let's just say he wanted a dildo, what color, size, and shape? And like, I'd never asked her anything because I'm a pretty I'm lawful, so I don't usually ask those sort of questions in like mixed company. And I just looked right at her, and her face just like all the color went out.
She was so turned on. Oh no, it went the other way.
Well, no, all the color went out, and then she was like mopey, and then her brain switched off, and then she had this huge grin on her face. And she just lost it. Like it was like the most absurd thing she could hear. And then that reminded me to tell them the story that I'm going to tell you now. Was as you two know, my wife used to sell adult novelty toys.
Yeah. I have what I bought from her one time still sitting in my dresser today.
What'd you buy?
The Matador.
I know what that is.
It is a cock ring that has the head of a bull on it.
Yeah,
there's a hole in the head for you to stick a vibrator, and the horns vibrate. So while you're having sex, the horns tickle the clitoris.
Well,
But
it assumes she has two clitorises about an inch apart.
And she's in that situation. She's the matador, right?
Yeah.
yeah. Well, see, and also like those horns are actually like kind of sharp. So anytime I've tried to use the Matador, it has not been good. So
what?
now
That
it
one
looks now it's like super like dusty and like covered in hair for some reason in my drawer. I don't even want to clean it
freaked
off.
me out because the horns always look like centipede antennas, the way like they're shaped, and I just I just think it's like bright red, isn't it? It's like angry red. Yeah. So that's funny that yours still exists because of this story. So yours is still intact, right? It's so old it's gathering dust.
Do you wear yours out so much that it disintegrated?
No. It's funny because we kind of packed them all away, and they were, it's like we use them for shows. And eventually, at some point, she got into selling other stuff like Pampered Chef. And I was like, these are kind of mutually exclusive of each other. Are you going to continue selling the other stuff? And she goes, there isn't really a market for it anywhere around here. And she's like, everybody I work with is kind of uptight. And I was like, okay, well, is there something like you could like sell it on Craigslist? And she like got on Craigslist, and she's like, oh, I totally could. So we were living in an apartment not too far from where I live now. They had some really, really ratty storage units. And it had to have been the hottest summer, like the hottest summer I've like on record of while I've been together with my wife. So like, it was just horrendous. So, we're doing this and we're in the apartment. We're just like trying to like basically just get rid of stuff we don't need because we just do not have the space. And so I go out there and I open it, and I had a funny memory because I was like, oh, that's right, my dad found this once. That was an awesome day. And then so it just says,
knowing your dad, that makes that pretty funny.
yeah, because he was like, huh. And then hated me forever. So
wait, that's my dad.
And I get within about it's like kind of on the bottom of stuff, right? Because we were smart about it. We're like, well, we don't want anybody to get to this, especially our son if he's ever out here for any, like if he's ever going to be out in the 110-degree storage unit.
go play in the storage unit in July. It's fine.
Go play, buddy. I'll be right here. Just don't touch the piece, okay? So I go out there and I go through the arduous process of picking up all these blue plastic bins, like the kind you get from Walmart, and it's on the bottom, and I'm like profusely sweating, and I pull the box off of the top of it, and before I even pull the lid off, there's a smell.
And
I'm like,
God.
but it's not like a bad smell, but it's like it's a familiar smell. And I'm like, it's not a smell you associate with a 110-degree storage unit. And I'm like, what is that smell? And I was like, it smells like, okay, come on, Ramon, use your nose. Is it patchouli and gummy bears? And I'm like, okay, that's weird. And I'm like, and then I completely forget what I'm doing.
Because that's for the show
out,
Kevin
right?
Link. That's what he smells like.
Right, that's what he smells like. It's actually, it was actually my shrine to Link. So I open it up, and it just comes wafting out of the sex toy box. And I'm like, what the hell happened? And then I kind of like, as I'm kind of like falling back from the heat and the smell and everything, I'm like, oh my God, what is that? And I look in, and they're just in the bottom, it's just soup. And I'm like, what is that? And in the middle of this kind of like patchouli, strawberry, lotion oil soup, it's this giant pile of what looks to be like giant silicone gummy worms. And I'm like, what the hell happened? And I'm looking at it, and it's just like layered over layered, like just like, like 24 giant double-sided dildos just glued together. It's just giant box of dicks. It smells like gummy bears and patchouli. And I'm like, how are we going to sell this?
Well, look, it works out.
Ship this thing to Seattle now.
It's really easy. Instead of selling 20 sex toys, you just sell one big one.
Box of dicks.
Octuple dildo head. Very rare.
The aberration.
This smells like gummy bears. Could I get someone to eat this? So and that kind of goes back to some TADPOG stuff about Josh and Nicole losing their box of dicks. So if I could, I would actually, if I still had that melted box of dicks, I would give it to them.
Did you have an otter?
What's that? No, we didn't have an I tossed it out. I like kind of wonder though, because it was recyclable, what the recyclable guys thought of it.
I hope they just started putting it in their butts.
One at a time.
There were just 8 of them moving it.
Ed, get on the other side of this. Let's see.
They had a tug of war.
You do it. You do it this time.
Ass to ass to ass to ass to ass. Come on.
So that's my introduction story. I also do YouTube stuff. So there we go.
Where can people find you?
I guess the easiest place is to find me is facebook.com/Countdowns Corner, and then all the links will be there because I have a Twitch channel and a YouTube channel. So you can find me there. I frequent your page quite a bit, so you can find me there. But generally, go to the Facebook page, and there's like 3 or 4 links of various places I post. But mostly it's going to be YouTube and Twitch.
Cool.
We'll have links to all that in the show notes. Too.
Yeah, you bet. Yep. So I guess we should talk about this game.
We'll talk about Smash Brothers.
Smash Brothers?
Talk about smashing some dildos together. Then we can talk about smashing some Nintendo characters.
That's we didn't talk about it when Zach was on the show, did we?
Mm-hmm.
About smash, I guess, is a term that people now use to say have sex with.
Mm-hmm.
And it got incredibly confusing because Zach kept talking about wanting to smash.
It's like, well, yeah, I'll go. We go over to Tyler's Smash right now. What?
I smashed this girl the other day. It's like, oh yeah, who were you, Samus, or like what? How did that work?
That's funny. That's like saying hang out with. I don't. kids these days. Right? Well,
I
that's
know.
funny because like I'm the youngest. I'm probably one of the youngest guys from our group. You guys and me and all that. And I'm one of the youngest. I'm older than Zach, obviously. But I am the oldest guy in the group here. So just some of the stuff doesn't always translate. Like I'm just like they'll say something and I'll go, yeah. Just act like I know what they're talking about, and then I go look it up later. And I'm like, oh, I can't believe I agreed to that.
Damn it, Urban Dictionary.
Because I didn't know what thirsty meant. Thirsty is like a new, term that the kids use nowadays.
Thirsty?
Instead of saying horny.
Oh, really?
They say thirsty.
You thirsty? I don't like this.
I don't like that either.
I don't like being out of touch with all the sexual terms.
I knew, turn. Oh, that's another thing.
What is that?
It's like crunk.
Yeah.
Turned?
Yeah.
God, I'm fucking old. This is so shitty.
Well, I knew I was old when I was going back to Murray State, and my professor was like, "So anybody uses Snapchat?" And like people are nodding. I'm just like in the back of the room, like, "What? Snapchat?"
Well, your professor's like, anybody want to see my dick?
I think I piss people off how much I don't Snapchat. They're like, you Snapchat? I'm like, no, I'm an adult. They're like, what?
But dude,
No,
I really want to see
I
your
take
dick.
Polaroids of my dick and send them in the mail. Thank you very
I will
much.
snail mail that shit to you.
All right, Smash Brothers.
Smash Brothers.
3DS.
3DS.
Easy question out of the way.
All right.
On the 3DS system, who
Yes.
is everybody's main?
Do we say it at the same time?
You think we all have the same one?
I doubt it.
we can try it.
Let's.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Little Mac.
Zero
Kirby.
Suit Samus.
All right.
Still Kirby?
Yeah, still Kirby. I like Robin as well. Like Robin is my favorite new contender. But man, nothing beats Kirby. Even though like every time a Smash Brothers game comes out, they make Kirby less effective. That's okay.
You'll compensate.
I will compensate for that.
Because
shit.
I didn't know who Robin was, and she.
is from Fire Emblem.
Okay.
Yeah, Awakening.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Which I borrowed from David Dykes. I borrowed it for like a year. 11 months out of that year, I had then loaned it to Josh. So Josh played it and mastered it. I got it back and never even put it in my 3DS.
In case you're wondering, there may be some sound in the background of my wife mixing herself a drink.
Okay.
Good. Hey, JD.
They say, hey. See, even JD does the Josh voice, just in passing.
I hope that's how you like sweet talk to. That's your pillow talk. Is both of you talking in the Josh voice to each other.
Well, I mean, yeah, we're old, so we're sleepy when we do pillow talk, so it's natural. It's like, hey, please, you want to mess around? I don't know. What is it, Tuesday? I guess.
Go get the bag of dicks.
Go get the sex toy
giant-
soup.
Yeah, go get the dick soup.
No, you got to earn the dick
Shaking
soup.
You're gonna get the dick soup.
What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, Robin.
Yeah, Robin.
I like Robin. I liked Robin in the game, aka Ragnar. So Robin is, I'm just gonna say he.
Okay.
Is incredibly slow, but also incredibly powerful at range.
Like a Ganondorf type. Well,
Yeah, it's
Ganondorf
a
is more
Gan-
melee,
ranged
right?
Ganondorf.
Oh, okay. And then I was unfamiliar with Palutena.
Palutena.
Thank you. See, I'm still unfamiliar.
I can't play her. My buddy Chris is great with her.
Oh, really? She's super defensive.
Yeah, which I don't play that way.
No,
Oh,
me
see.
neither.
Okay, now I'm gonna have to be good with her. Now that you said that, she's gonna have to become my main.
No, I think she is like the most defensive character in the
Half
game.
of her powers are defense. Yeah.
I learned something from this podcast today, so that's good. It's good for me.
And I actually play now. I was maining who JD says is basically cheating as Lil Mac, because it basically is. It's like setting the game on win. But now I've been playing as Bowser Jr.
Yeah.
God, Bowser Jr.
We did a whole big match where we all picked a different alternate costume for Bowser Jr.
Yeah.
And did a 8-man Koopa Kid smash.
Because we were getting so frustrated because we just couldn't beat Bowser Jr. Oh my God, level 9 Bowser Jr. is just so hard to knock off.
It's just the air recovers are so good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's like his percentage. Like we had him like in like almost 300 before we could like successfully smash him
And
out.
still, then at his third jump where he launches himself out of the clown helicopter. Ugh.
Yeah, and I didn't know this until I saw a hint. He gets a hammer while he's coming down, and it does extra damage.
Shit, I didn't know that.
So like if you go up really high, like if you're fighting like Master Hand and Crazy Hand, if you're, which I guess we'll need to talk about like the modes, but as you're coming down, you can actually do 3 swipes, and they seem to do double damage of a regular A attack, and then when you land, your damage resets, which is crazy. I saw that and I was like, there's no way he gets an extra attack just for not having his clown car, and he does.
In case anyone is wondering, this is a video game where all Mario and Nintendo characters fight each other.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's implied if you're to listen, you probably know, but
Yeah, and this is a new game. You probably know what's up. But just in case you don't, it's a whole bunch of Nintendo characters fighting each other.
Yep. And the point is to knock each other off the screen.
It's like sumo wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorta.
It's
Pretty good. And let's see, who else was new? Well, Mewtwo is back in the 3DS version.
Yeah, you gotta you have to have like the Wii U version and the 3DS version in order to get
Okay.
I think
Mewtwo.
he's actually coming out in February.
Yeah.
And they're like, he's free for you guys, and they're like, but not for people in Europe. And then they're like, but maybe for people in Europe and not for you guys. Like, stop it.
Whoever says they like us the most gets it for free if they have to pay for it.
Yeah.
As like a non-Pokemon guy, like I really could not give. I mean, I just don't give a shit.
Yeah. I just remember because playing in high school, like a lot of my friends mained Mewtwo.
Yeah.
Loved Mewtwo so much. Like I was never great with Mewtwo. I didn't really focus.
I mean, I saw that movie. It was all right,
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
but I'm good.
Good enough for Herman Cain to quote him. Solid.
Well,
else?
if you're talking about new,
Talking about the
new
modes?
Pokemon,
Yeah.
I like Greninja.
Yeah, I like Greninja as well. That's like one Pokemon that I can like get behind.
Yeah.
Super fast, and like really, really fast. He's kind of like a
Lucario's good too.
Lucario's like a blue fox.
Yep.
Greninja's like
basically a monk.
Greninja's a gecko ninja. I think that's probably safe to say.
Okay.
Right.
Because the more Pokemon iterations, the more and more creative these names get.
I need to send you guys, if you haven't seen it already, since we're talking about so many Pokemon, the honest trailer for Pokemon.
Okay. I haven't seen that. That sounds
And it's
pretty
the
good.
guys that from from Smosh, and they do the honest trailers, and they go through every single of the original 151 Pokemon and give them all new names. And
That's pretty good.
It's just like they get to some of them, and I had to pause it. I was crying, like when they get to like, what is it, like Ponyta or whatever, and then they're like, "This horse is on fire!" Like, oh my god!
I'd never heard of honest trailers until I was doing Zach's show notes.
Oh yeah.
And I posted the honest trailer for Final Fantasy VII. I watched it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Even Meg, who played through like half of that game, she enjoyed it. She was laughing pretty hard. So
They're pretty funny. My favorite one is the Pokemon one, and then probably my next favorite one is for movies is for Pacific Rim, which is awesome. But yeah, I mean, generally, there's a shit ton of Pokemon. It's basically, they say it's a Mario game. It's really a Pokemon game featuring Nintendo characters.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably fair.
Yeah, everybody's got their favorites.
has Lucas been dropped from both versions?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, just Ness. You got Ness.
So that's fine. I can live with that.
he's been wiped from existence, unfortunately. Yeah.
That bothered me. I mean, I loved Mother 3, but that
Time
doesn't
paradox.
bother me. That doesn't bother me.
I don't understand why Lucas couldn't be an alternate costume for Ness. I mean, because I know they weren't clones in the last game, but I mean they pretty much were.
They were similar.
very similar.
They could have done it in this one and been just fine.
I think they were like one move off. It was like PK Cross and PK Frost, and that was the only difference between the two of them. So one like stunned you, and then the other one froze you, but that was about it. And nobody ever used those because it took like 3 seconds for it to land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never, even when like, I like playing Ness, I never use any of that at all.
Can you?
Go ahead, man.
Oh, I was gonna say, you never run into this in person unless there's like somebody just talking into the corner, right?
Yeah.
Like Sean Miller's just drunk. Like, no, I'm just gonna keep talking over you guys. Yeah, so like I know that Josh is the expert at NES, so you guys can do the PK Thunder back onto the level.
Josh can.
I can, but not nearly as effectively as Josh can.
Yeah, not like reliably.
Yeah, not reliably.
Yeah. I can do it in like 1v1, and then when I'm just kind of like chilling, but if it's like 8-man smash and I'm like like it's like on the wire, I'm like, no, I'm gonna die.
Like I remember the last time I
Totally
tried it, I was fighting like Ganondorf. So like I'm about to do it, about to get on the edge, and then Ganondorf just walks over, jumps up onto me, and does that explosive back maneuver. So
Yeah.
then as soon as I'm about to go on, nope, dead. Fucking Ganondorf.
Man.
My question for you guys is, and this is because of my own personal experience, how long do you think you're going to play this game? Well, like, how long do you think you're going to play? Like, in a month, are you still going to be playing Smash Brothers?
Yeah.
For 3DS, probably not. On the Wii U, yeah, I'll be playing it consistently, and people are over until the next one.
Well,
comes
see, because
out.
that's my thing. Is like,
I dropped $120 on that setup, so I'm gonna keep playing it.
well, like my thing with Smash Brothers has always been like, I play it, and then I feel like, all right, I got my fill. Like when I got it on the 3DS, I picked it up on day one, played it, loved it, played it hard for like 2 weeks, and it was like, I think I'm done with this game.
Yeah.
I mean, because of my job, I travel a lot by plane, so I probably will play it more than you guys. But generally, when I'm done with a 3DS game, I'm done with it because I like 3DS games, so I want to go on to another 3DS game. So yeah, I think the Wii U version, which we're not talking about right now, sort of. But yeah, I think the Wii U version I'll be playing until the next one comes out, and the 3DS version I will play until there is another game that holds my attention for a long ass time on the 3DS.
Ramon, did you try the multiplayer mode on the 3DS?
Yeah, I did.
Did you have a okay time with that?
I out of 10 matches, I think 2 of them were not bullshit.
And by that, do you mean 2 were playable?
2 were playable.
Because like my experience with it was that every time I'd get into an online match, I'd be playing it at like maybe 3 frames per second because the connection was horrible.
Like fighting in sorghum molasses.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a really frustrating experience. That and that really sucked for me because I was really looking forward to online play.
Yeah, so that's the funny thing is, and I think Tyler and I both definitely are, because you have a Wii U, obviously, right, Tyler? So we are very professed Nintendo fans. And I know, Dave, you are, even though you don't have the Wii U. That's probably just for convenience that Tyler has it, I imagine.
Just cheap.
Yeah, right.
I want a next-gen console, and there were games on the Wii U I wanted to play. There's nothing on the PS4 or the Xbox One that I'm dying to play. So.
Yeah. So it's like, that's the thing. So it's like, I got the Wii U, and I know that the games are always gonna be solid. The games that you want to play, the Mario games, the Zelda games, the Metroid games.
Yeah.
Basically any of the first party titles.
Right.
But the one thing they just cannot seem to wrap their Japanese brains around is internet.
Yeah, their netcode is pretty bad. And it's like, well, I mean, they've got no infrastructure for it, right? Because like 3DS Smash, and as far as I understand, Wii U as well, all the battles are peer-to-peer. Like you don't connect to a server to play. You're just going on blind faith that the other players you have are going to have a good internet connection, that they're not going to be streaming 3 Netflix movies while you play, or they're going to be downloading any torrents or anything like that. Because it's like, there are games that I got into, there are matches that I got into where it's like, this person must be downloading the entire, like Brianna Banks' entire catalog.
or they're in Starbucks.
Yeah, exactly. Or they're like on some really shitty internet. And it's like, if one person's internet connection is shitty, it fucks up the game for everybody. Everyone's game is like now at 4 frames per second.
Well, and you're penalized for trying to drop too, right?
Yeah, if you drop
Enough times.
Yeah, if you drop, then what? You start getting paired up with other people who drop.
Yeah,
Everyone on Reddit,
quote unquote crappy players.
Yeah.
everyone on Reddit has screenshots of like them being banned for so much amount of time because they dropped because the match sucked, or they're targeting a player too often. So they're banned for 10 minutes now for targeting a player too excessively, which is fucking bullshit.
Say what? They're targeting a player too often?
Yeah, reporting as abuse.
Oh, well, then maybe the other players should stop playing Falco. How about that?
Or stop playing a fighting game?
God, I didn't know we were having some hug fest up in here.
Well, it's weird because it's like, I don't know. That was a huge selling point for me. And it got to the point where I just got tired of playing AI. And I got tired of like finding like you said, 20% of the time finding a decent online game.
Well, yeah, and then you're like, oh, this is great, you know, and then you think it's gonna stay, and then like you don't ever talk to the other people, so you don't know what their lives are like. You might have a really solid game for like 2 or 3 sessions, and then the other person does whatever, right?
Right, or like one person leaves and then another dude jumps in, and then all of a sudden everything's shitty, and you know it's his fault, and you can't do anything about it. It's like, that's the new guy's fault. Great.
Like everyone is in the Midwest, and the other guy's in Hawaii. What happened?
He's playing from the center of the earth.
Right, the inside of an eclipse.
I remember like when we used to play back in the day, we normally would play on stock mode. Like we'd always set it to stock. On the 3DS version, and honestly probably in all of them, I just didn't realize it, that's not the default play. And it was kind of weird because like when I was playing the 3DS version, I didn't change the rules. So I got accustomed to the way the 3DS scored it, and they score it by number of KOs. I noticed like I played it for so long that way that like it altered my play style. Like I don't play nearly as defensively as I used to. No. And because of that, like I don't do super well when we play in stock mode because I'm dying a lot because I'm taking a lot of risks and I'm playing.
I didn't even think about that because like I've never starting the N64 to now. We've always played stock, never played time.
Stock at 3.
Stock at 3.
See, we did stock at 4. Yeah.
Okay.
I actually, honestly, man, I know this is blasphemy, but I kind of prefer the default rules because, like, I like stock, but, like, that just promotes people to not fight.
Well, and if you have, it's not as big of a deal on the Wii U version, obviously. Just talking Smash in general, if you have more than 4 people and you're playing stock, and those 4 people are actually pretty good, that 5th person's going to be sitting there waiting forever. So if you're playing on time, you have like an allotted amount of time that other person can cycle back in, right?
Yeah.
So or 2 or 3 people, or you know, like if you're in a party mode. So it promotes
We're always
2
in
things.
a party mode.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Or Michelangelo like that.
yeah. I like to party. So yeah, so like, you know, it moves things along a lot quicker. So it's you're more aggressive. It's a little bit more frantic. And then, because the way it works, you also get sudden death.
Right.
So, which you don't normally get that in stock.
Right. Yeah. Because if your time runs out and you're tied on KOs and deaths, right? Because it takes those into account as well. You go into an overtime mode or sudden death where everyone who's tied is at 300%. And the higher the percentage is, the easier it is to be knocked off the stage. So it's pretty much one good hit in and you're off.
Which is basically you doing something stupid and them reflecting it back to you.
Yep.
Boom. You're off.
I enjoy that. And I understand why it got cut from the Wii U version, so I was glad to see it again that you do the solo campaign on the 3DS. Because like I always enjoyed playing through. Even on the last one, I really enjoyed just the single player match after match after match, you know, for prizes and trophies. I really enjoyed that. So I was sad when I heard it was cut from the Wii U, but, you know, I understood it. So
I think some of the modes, yeah, it kind of is. I think, honestly, for me, like, I like just the straight up vanilla fighting. So, like, I didn't mess with the modes a whole lot. Like, Ramon, I know you probably put some time in on those, though.
Well, I mean, yeah. So that's the thing, right? When you do this stuff for YouTube, you're kind of like required to show off all the modes, and some of them are really good, and some of them are bullshit.
Well, let's start with the ones that are bullshit.
Well, okay. So there's 2 new modes. That are not really bullshit. One of them is definitely bullshit because I left the room and my buddy Craig spent all my money, and I told him I wasn't mad because we were recording at the time. But I mean, it was kind of a dick move. Because I was like, okay, Craig, I gotta go hang out with my son for a little while.
Get the fuck out, Craig.
Lunch, and you and Chris can run the channel. And Chris was like, gave me the thumbs up. I'm like, okay, responsible party. And then Craig was like, me too. And I was like, yes. So
you're not still bitter about it or anything.
And it goes to crazy orders. And so there's crazy orders and master orders, and they're basically these special event modes that you pay your money to go in and get prizes.
Your coins, your Mario coins.
Yeah, your Mario coins, star coins, whatever. So you go in and you pay your coins, And in master mode, it's about 500 coins to get something, which is if you level it with how good you are. Say it's easy, medium, and hard. If you play it on medium, it's a pretty good chance that you're going to get whatever it is you paid for. On crazy orders, however, you pay 5,000 gold.
That's crazy.
We had just started playing, so I only had 7,000 gold. So like I'm upstairs and I'm making lunch, and I have it on. I have the Twitch stream on one of the laptops, and I'm like flipping a grilled cheese for my son, and then I just hear Craig downstairs go, "Oops." And I hear Chris go,
oh shit, Ramon's gonna be so mad.
yeah, and then Chris goes, "Oh no, oh no." And then Craig goes, "Oh yeah," and then I hear it all over again in like 10 seconds later, and I'm like, "What happened?" And I was like, "Where's my gold?" And then I was like, "Oh, it's okay. They're gonna do it right." And then they get the crazy orders, and it's basically press your luck. So you keep playing for items until you lose, and then you can choose when to play till, and you can go 5, 6, 7 rounds.
Gotcha.
Craig goes 1 round. Loses all my money and gets no prize.
I was hoping you were going to say like you came back in and your console was on fire.
It actually blue screened, which is not something that Nintendo consoles do.
It was weird.
Craig.
And then it was eaten by a group.
You got to keep the lights on, man.
That's the Nintendo owner's manual. Make sure to keep Wii U in line at all times.
So Chris just looks at me and he's like shrugged, and Craig's like, yeah, man. So the money's gone. And then I was like, great. All right, let's keep going. Forced to smile. I was like, okay. Well, we didn't spend hours to get that. All right.
I think you need to institute a new honesty policy.
Yeah. I let him have it later. So yeah, crazy orders is a little bit bullshit. But most of the rest of the modes are pretty good. Classic mode on either version is pretty good. I would agree with Tyler that classic mode on the 3DS is better. Just the way it works, the way it looks, the way it feels. Classic mode works like Star Fox. So, because you guys were just talking about Star Fox for the SNES, and you have branching paths of difficulty.
Right.
And that's how that one works. So if you go all the way super difficult, eventually, instead of making it just a master hand, the regular boss, you make it the master hand and
crazy hand.
So basically, any mode that Crazy Hand is in is basically dubbed the bullshit mode.
Yeah.
In my book, anyway.
I like it too because, like, if you lose, it knocks the difficulty down, which is great, but also sucks at the same time.
Yeah,
because it's
you got
like,
mad at that one day.
Oh, I was mad at that because it's like, yeah, because like I got all the way to Master Hand and Crazy Hand at the end, right? These two, for anyone who doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about, they're these two giant ghost hands, essentially.
They're white gloves.
Yeah. I swear I fought them like I was on the highest difficulty. I was really proud that I'd gotten there. Didn't stand a chance. Lost again. So like each time it's the difficulties being knocked down from like 9 to 8.5 to 8 to 7.5 to 7. And then finally I win. And it's like, there's no fucking point to that. Like I should have just gone through the game at 7.
Yeah, it's like you can't just like retry to make yourself get better. It's just so don't get your feelings hurt here. We'll help you.
Yeah,
there you go.
I understand it, but at the same time, man, I put it on 9 for a reason.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. It basically Dark Souls you down into wanting to quit the game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Slowly sucking your will to play.
What did you guys think about playing a Smash Brothers game on a small screen? Because like I never played a Smash Brothers game on a screen as small as the 3DS.
It didn't bother me as bad. Going back to I haven't played my 3DS in a while. I've been on a pretty big Vita streak. So
Danganronpa.
Yeah, Danganronpa 1, 2, Persona 3, and 4. And then picking up my 3DS again. So it was a transition one to feel a different handheld, which they feel very, very different. and then going from playing. So I played the Wii U version first, and then picked up the 3DS version. So it was like doubly jarring for me. But I enjoy the way it looks because it has more of like a cell shade kind of tint to it. I dig that a lot.
Yeah.
Other than that, like this seemed like they really simplified it too much in my opinion. But I didn't have going to a smaller screen didn't bother me as bad. Other stuff bothered me more.
Ramon, what do you think? What do you think about the screen?
Well, Dave, I mean, not to sound super nerdy about this, but the pixel density on the 3DS, even though it's lower resolution, it still looks really good.
Yeah.
So it's a small ass screen. It's like whatever, like 5 inches at diagonal, and but it's a pretty reasonable resolution for a screen that size, and it runs at a good click. I don't know if it's 60 frames per second. It may be closer to 30, but it's probably one of the best looking 3DS games, and because of the way the art style is, like Tyler was saying, they're cell shaded, so they have really deep outlines. You don't really lose your character, even though it's a small screen. Yeah, it just looks good. It feels good. And it kind of got me excited for the Wii U version. It's like, well, if this version looks this good, because the 3DS version still actually looks better than the Wii version, which kind of like blew my mind. And it's all art style. It's all art direction.
Right.
They just got better at it over the years. But, I was like, if this looks this good, then the Wii U version has to be like amazing.
I thought it was a lot easier than I expected, because I thought I was going to be losing my character, kind of like you said, but they do a really good job of fighting that, because like you said, you can even adjust the outline around the characters in the settings, and like I was amazed by like it's a completely different experience, because instead of you looking at the same screen as everyone else, you've got your kind of like your own little screen that stays tracked on you. So I think it's actually a lot more difficult to lose yourself than it is like on the Wii U version.
Because there was we were doing 8-person Smash on the Wii U. I was constantly like, if I'm little max, so I'll just do like the uppercut, or I'll do like a dive, and I'll lose myself, and the next thing I know, dead.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, you just go flying off the level. Well, that's the thing on the Wii U version. I taught myself to look for my name. And
the naming system. That's another point I want to dress up.
So like, so instead of putting Ramon like I normally do, since we're doing for the channel, I did countdown. So like my name was twice as long as everybody else's. So I never really lost my guy. But if I stopped looking at my name, I was like, where the fuck am I? Oh, I gotta read. Hold on. I would just stop moving and I'd be like, countdown. There I am. Okay, am I going left? Let's go left. Okay, all right, we're good. And then like it would take me a second to find me, but it was. I think I was doing a little bit better because my name was longer, but I mean, I could see you losing yourself a lot easier, especially on the huge maps, right?
Yeah. And that's also, I think that's also because we're older now.
Oh, God. Yeah. So, yeah.
I really enjoyed like whenever you play in a group of friends, you just name yourself something incredibly offensive that within the safety of your small group of friends.
It's tradition.
But now, because of the online play, you can't do that. They're extraordinarily strict about what they let get by.
What names are cool enough?
Yeah. Bring back a deep Uniracer's cut.
Oh, I was just thinking about that. Wait, are we allowed to talk about that episode?
Yeah, absolutely. Bring it on.
The most reviled episode in known existence. Let's do this. That's okay. I'm from Super Bomberman 2 fame, so it balances out. Oh, man.
I think my name ended up being Tutors for most of the game. For some reason, like, I don't even know what to name myself. I'm just going to be Tutors. Fuck it. Whatever.
Well, if you're creative with punctuation, you can still make your name Fuck.
Yep.
Yeah. And they made the names longer now, so it's like there's so much more you could actually put a full cum dumpster on it.
You can go all cum dumpster on it.
Did we talk about Smash Run?
No.
I haven't even done that mode yet.
Dave, have you?
Which one is it? And I'll tell you.
That's the adventure mode, the side-scrolling, where you fight all the random enemies and you level up your character.
You collect power-ups to level up your character, and then at the end, it's you fight or have a race or something.
Yeah, basically.
Where it's like it's either really cool or really bullshit.
Right. Like, I'm super powerful. Oh, this is the jumping one.
Right, exactly. Oh man, this sucks because I didn't pick up any jumping power-ups.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? Well, if Tyler, you haven't played it yet, but Dave, what did you think of that mode?
I liked it. I liked it, even though you get to the end and it would randomly choose how you determine a winner.
Yeah.
I liked it because of the platforming elements that it had before the big face-off at the end, and you fight some like really bizarre-looking enemies that you don't see in the rest of the game. So I thought that was cool too.
Well, it's a bunch of callbacks, and
Yeah.
Tyler would probably like it because of the callbacks to specific games. Like I played through several times, and like when I'm on a plane, that's the mode that takes the longest. So I would just play that back to back and just level up whatever character I'm working on. Get equipment, because you get equipment to customize your character. Ooh, customizable characters.
It's dangerous.
It is dangerous.
Slippery slope.
But so I would play that mode, but then like I wouldn't see all of the monsters in like the first few times, and then one time I caught a car, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And I was like, "This has to be an Earthbound enemy." And I don't know if Dave, you can verify that, because still at this point, and Tyler and I were talking about this, is I never actually got a chance to play Earthbound back in the day, and everybody else had talked about it so much that I felt like I didn't have to. And because I knew so much about it, I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds great. And they're like, you're gonna play it? I'm like, I don't see any reason to. It's like Tyler. Right? So it's like Tyler already heard so much about it. He's like, nah, I mean, yeah, I know it through like what you told me. That's good enough.
Chewbacca's in it. I got it.
Yeah,
you do fight cars in Fourside.
Yeah, okay, so that's what I thought. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh, Tyler's gonna love this." And then you fight a Starman, and then you fight a bunch of Pikmin villains, and Dig Dug. There's some stuff from Dig Dug in there.
Yes.
So yeah, it's got little callbacks and only two bullshit enemies, which is the one. It's like a Reaper.
Yes.
And from Kid Icarus. And you'll hear him because the music changes. It goes like it's like a really low droning 8-bit music, and he'll just come from off screen and just one hit gank you. So he'll that's like you'll be doing great, like you'll be completely maxed out on all your stats, and then all of a sudden you just start having panic sweats because you don't know what side of the screen he's coming from. So you just start dropping down as quickly as possible into the lower levels, and then Bonkers. Who is
the cat?
Totally nuts.
Totally nuts.
Bonkers.
He's the big ape from Kirby with the mallet,
Oh, okay.
and he will one-shot kill you as well.
He who bonks.
Yeah, he who bonks. I am the one who bonks. It's a cool mode. That's the one that I think that has the most kind of replay value on the 3DS version. Otherwise, it gets pretty stale after you've unlocked all the characters.
We hadn't. I know we talked about Little Mac and a lot of the Pokemon. We totally forgot about Pac-Man.
Pac-Man.
And I thought of him because you started talking about Dig Dug.
Right.
Yeah, Pac-Man's a playable character.
I like Pac-Man.
I wish I was good with Pac-Man.
Whenever I was playing Pac-Man, I was like, I see so much potential for someone who puts in the time with Pac-Man.
He's got a lot of cool moves. I don't play him that much, but I get excited when anybody else does.
God, his final smash in the Wii U version is just like,
I think it's the same.
Is it the same in the
yeah,
3DS?
and that's actually I'm like really impressed like how close they kept the 3DS version to the Wii U version and vice versa, because like the roster is exactly the same. The Wii U has more stages. The Wii U has,
but it actually lost a few of the smaller ones.
oh, is that right?
Yeah, it has a bunch. It has like twice the number of what it lost. So it lost like 4, and then it gained like 6 big stages, and then but it lost like Spirit Tracks. It lost what's the dog game? Nintendogs. It lost the Nintendogs level, but then it got Wario Gamer.
Yes.
Which is totally fucking creepy.
Yes.
I love that level.
Yeah, Dave and I were excited to see that because we played the Wii U WarioWare,
Right.
And like that
That's
was the really
best.
good level.
That's the best game in WarioWare. But I mean, I was really impressed that like they have the same roster, the move set's the same, it feels the same. Like, I mean, I was really amazed at how good a job they did about making this feel like a unit and not two separate games, because like this could have easily felt like two extremely different games.
Well, that's oftentimes the case, isn't it? Especially like if you get like a licensed game, like say like it's a I don't know. We'll just say a licensed Marvel movie game, right? You'll get a really kick-ass version on console,
right?
That has like 16 characters,
right?
And then you get a like a bullshit side scroller on 3DS with like 4.
I'm having Mortal Kombat flashbacks.
Yeah,
I remember Mortal Kombat 2 on the Game Gear. I was like, where are all the characters?
Hope you like Kano. There you go. Oh man. Overall, though, yeah, I'm. Like you said earlier, like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be playing this for a whole lot longer. But I feel like it came out so many months early. It was like a good appetizer for the Wii U version.
Yeah, I think they released them in the correct order.
Yeah.
Because
no one would pick up the 3DS version.
Right. I mean, I probably would because I don't have a Wii U. Well, maybe then again, maybe I won't because I would just come over to Tyler's and play it. So
hey, you're at Tyler's like at least twice a week, right? So
I'm at Tyler's like 6 days a week.
8 days a week.
I see Tyler more than I see Nikki. That's not a lie.
Well, because we've actually created TADPOG to cover up our affair. So that way it makes sense for Dave to be here this often in this room we've constructed for our lovemaking.
We hide our love in plain sight.
That's the best way to hide it.
You ready for that dick soup?
You know what? Hiding in plain sight does make me sad, though, because the one character that they added to the previous game that they removed is Snake.
Yeah, we're going to disagree on this. I mean, you're right. That is a factual thing. But, man, I'm so glad he's not in this game.
You hate Snake?
I do hate Snake. I know that's the unpopular opinion, but I'm going to go ahead and hold that one. I did not like Snake in Smash Brothers. He just didn't fit. He seemed like way different than everybody else.
Like way too violent and badass.
Yeah.
Cartoony game.
Yeah, a little bit.
I thought that too because he does like a sleeper hold.
Right.
It's just a really slow snapping of the neck.
Yeah. It's fucking creepy. It's like putting out Heath Ledger's Joker in there or something. He's like doing pencil trick on Pikachu. Slamming it.
50 characters and like a 45-year-old army vet. Yeah, I get it.
So that would be, man, I can see that being a College Humor video now is like somebody doing like the animated series like video game, but instead taking out that anime Joker and putting in Heath Ledger's Joker in its spot and how much he wouldn't fit in. That is exactly how Solid Snake is in Smash Brothers. So
yeah.
Man.
I've got another big question. I know we're probably going to need to wrap things up here pretty soon.
Yeah, totally.
But I guess my question is, do you think that we needed this game? Like, is it different enough from other Smash Brothers, or like? The reason I bring this up is because I know like Call of Duty's getting a lot of hate for like in Madden games. Like all these games are getting in Assassin's Creed are getting hate for like these annual releases. Mm-hmm. I know that Smash Brothers is not annual, but it is. I feel like it is a game that just doesn't change too much over time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
I think Ramon and I both like so many different ideas trying to pull them together. But you go ahead, Ramon.
Okay, yeah, you put your ideas together. I think I got my shit on lock. Yeah, it's a tried and true formula. Mm-hmm. They don't steer away from it, but because of the nature of systems, people were only going to play the old ones for so long. Like, even though Brawl is out, Melee I think is still the preferred version in general.
For
That's
me,
not
at least,
necessarily
yeah.
the case.
I agree.
Yeah, but eventually Melee is going to get so old that it would have gotten phased out. And just due to hardware constraints and things like that, no one owning a GameCube anymore, things like that. So I think they just kind of had to. So where Call of Duty comes out every year, right? Mm-hmm. Madden comes out every year because they want to, because they basically want, they want to line their pockets.
Sure.
I think that Smash.
I mean, Nintendo's not giving this game out for free.
Well, yeah, sure. But I'm saying, like, I think Smash did it because they had to. They had to stay relevant. Otherwise, they wouldn't have, I don't think. I think they just been like, we made an awesome Smash game. Mm-hmm. I like it. I like that it came out. It's been a long time. I don't need one in the next 5 years. I don't think.
Well, they keep it fresh with the roster. Like, I mean, that's like
That's the selling point.
that's always the draw to a Smash Brothers game. Is it's like, look who's new, look who we have in it this time.
Well, this time it was look who's old.
Yeah, you're right.
But we didn't even mention Mega Man. Oh my God.
No, we didn't mention Mega Man either. I'm not very good at him. That's probably why I didn't mention him.
I like Mega Man. Okay, that's all. That is all. I like Mega Man. Tyler, how do you feel?
Let's see. The 3DS version, I don't feel like they didn't hurt themselves by releasing it. But I also feel like if they hadn't, I don't feel it would have taken away from the Wii U at all. So it's nothing but a positive for doing it because they did it well. It could have sucked, but it was just, I guess I see it as nothing more than an appetizer for like people couldn't wait to get the Wii U version. Okay, we'll get this one just to go ahead and see some stuff, blah, blah. Maybe I'll save up after this to buy a Wii U because the Wii U's, selling right now isn't spectacular. So I see fiscally why it was a good idea, and I can see why it was a good sort of build up. I don't know necessarily if they should do it again.
You mean release a
Like
handheld version
on the next, whatever the next cycle is. If they did it again, I don't know how that would go over as well. Or at least stagger them then further apart next time, maybe within like a full year of each other. But
Ramon, do you know what I feel like out of everyone here, you probably have the most. You're most likely to know the answer to this. Do you know what like the numbers, like the sales numbers are, like 3DS versus Wii U? Like, I mean, there's got to be like a lot more 3DSs out, right?
Yeah. So the 3DS is the number one system on the market,
right?
Still.
I mean,
today.
it would be ridiculous for them not to release it on 3DS, I would think.
Yeah, so I think it's like the last time I saw something, and it may not be up to date, but I think there's like 300% more 3DSs in people's hands than there are people who own Wii U.
That probably had a lot to do with it. I'm willing to bet like that probably had a lot to do with it.
Well, and that's the thing. So this is my thought processes, right? Because I have, we all have 3DSs because we're man children, but also real children have 3DSs.
What?
So this is my thought process. They got them, right? They got them with the 3DS version, but they didn't necessarily own Wii U's.
Right.
And then come late November, all of a sudden this awesome Wii U game comes out, and now they're begging their parents for a Wii U, which no one has done for 3 years. No one's begged their parents for a Wii U.
Or their wife.
And now, or their wife, right? And, but so now everyone got a taste of this game, and, well, I say kids. I like less fiscally responsible people, not.
Oh yeah, okay. So I'm in there.
Yeah. So I think it was a really smart idea because it was an appetizer. But I think just based on market saturation, I think it was really wise to get it in there. But and then just hook them. It was smart. It was a really good idea. But it's not the only big game that they released for Wii U recently. So like Bayonetta 2 really put them on the map for the Wii U.
That's Wii U exclusive, isn't it?
It's an exclusive, and it's on Metacritic. Not like that really matters, but
right. How many beards do they give it on Metacritic?
Well, her whole body is made out, or her whole outfit's made out of hair. So it's one
beard suit.
It's one beard bodysuit.
One beard suit.
Yeah, one beard suit. So it's like it ranged from 8. Like an 8 average, but like on many sites it was like a perfect score. So it's like for Nintendo to have another perfect score game that's a mature game, plus Smash, plus anything else that's coming out, I think the Wii U is actually doing in a much better position than it was last year. And the 3DS is to help with that. Yeah,
and I mean they kind of did a similar thing, not to the same degree, like because Smash Brothers was like a big thing, but I mean. Yeah. Mario Kart was out for the 3DS shortly before the new Mario Kart on Wii U. And I kind of want to save this a little bit for actually when we talk about Mario Kart on IGN's list. But while I'm thinking about it, I want to say it right now. Why the hell haven't they done with Mario Kart what they've done with Smash Brothers? Like, give us a lot of racers to choose from.
So they're experimenting with that right now
because of Link.
Because of Link.
Yeah, that's actually what made me think about it. Is that Link is?
I had no idea what you're talking about.
So there's DLC for Mario Kart 8, and it just came out, and so they're just now experimenting with DLC, and there's basically only 2 games that they're really doing it with, which is Smash and Mario Kart, and then like a little bit on Hyrule Warriors, and so Link. When you get Link, the Link pack, which I have not downloaded yet because I knew I didn't have any more time to spend on Mario Kart, but so you get Link, and then you get Tanuki Mario and Cat Peach, and then you get the Hyrule Cup, and you get the Master Bike, which is a bike that looks like Epona, all metalled out with Master Sword kind of embellishments on the side, and the sheer badassery of that single bike almost made me buy that DLC. So if they added other characters like Samus, right?
Yeah.
If they, oh my God, why haven't they added Captain Falcon?
Right.
I mean, he knows how to drive a car.
Well, it's like
Sorta.
If
He's the worst F-Zero racer, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like there's an opportunity there because like the whole cachet around like Smash Brothers is the roster. I feel like they could easily do that with Mario Kart as well.
You're right.
Well, and they do stuff with the roster in Smash Brothers that makes you want to play those games that you have no idea where those characters are from.
Yeah.
So like I didn't play Fire Emblem until after I realized where those characters were from Smash. I was like, who's Ike? Mm-hmm. And then I started researching it, and then so when the first Fire Emblem game that came out that I could actually play, I was like, I'm gonna get it because I like those characters mostly, with the exception of Marth. And so like Shulk is in Smash now, and he's from Xenosaga Chronicles.
There you go.
Yeah,
Which
and
that I want to play that, but just the everything around it pisses me off so badly.
Is that the
It's
exclusive?
the GameStop
Yeah.
exclusive.
it's the GameStop exclusive game.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's like, how much is it?
So like they were undersupplied. So as soon as they sold, and they'd be like sold back, and they're hundreds of dollars. I mean, getting a copy is ridiculous.
Well,
Just,
you will be happy to know that they are re-releasing it in HD called Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah,
That's
good.
awesome.
Because I've
With
only
Wyatt-
heard great things about it. It's just hard to play.
And it's downloadable. So as long as you have a hard drive on that thing, you'll be able to download it.
Good. Okay. Good.
So yeah, I mean that's the other thing. So it makes call outs to games and then you see Kirby and you're like, I haven't played a Kirby game in a long time. I guess I should go buy a Kirby game now. It's like all subliminal,
Yeah.
right?
Who the fuck is Ness?
Yeah.
Who is this Mario?
Mario. So yeah. And yeah, that's the thing about Ness. So every time I see Ness, I'm like, man, I need to go play Earthbound. And then I'm like, nah, I'm over it.
It's on the Wii U store now. You can pick that up.
No, I'm gonna.
That's how I used to
it's a
be
matter
until
of
this
when,
show,
When
man.
do I get time? But it is actually on the list. As soon as I get the hard drive, and as soon as I get like a Wii U eShop card, that's the first thing I'm buying.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna happen.
Eventually.
So yeah. Is that it? What are we? What are
Yeah,
we doing
that's it. I feel like this is a good time to wrap. And I mean, we're gonna continue to talk about Smash Brothers, right? I mean, you're still gonna have us on the show, even though we just did this, right? Like, I mean, none of us are proud about what happened here today, but
We'll continue talking about dicks on Ramon's show.
yeah, what is your dick policy on your show?
I could just put an explicit tag on it, so they don't care.
Done.
All right.
I just age gate it. It's not that big of a deal.
Great.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out what a good time is. I would like to do that sooner rather than later. So we'll discuss that offline.
Okay, great. I find that our listeners enjoy hearing us go into detail about what we may or may not do. Like I get messages. I'm like, man, I really enjoyed that conversation you had with Tyler about whether you're going to get mustard or mayonnaise on that sandwich.
You want
I
to
don't
take
want it
any
to turn into
calls?
one of my work conference calls. It's like 2 people are having a conversation about like what they're going to do on Wednesday, and there's like 100 people on.
I would offer that we take some calls, but this whole setup that I've got in my panel van makes it very difficult for me to
could make
actually
something
accept calls
explode.
right now.
You know what? I was actually kind of looking forward to a Fish Lips J call, but that's all right.
Yeah, I can't make it happen. I really wish I could.
Yeah, I don't think we have any more ports on any more laptops.
Ramon, I am literally out of cables.
Literally.
Literally out of cables. And I even went by Radio Shack and I was like, I know how you motherfuckers are still in business because I just bought a 3.5 millimeter cable for $10 because I need it in the next 20 minutes.
Well, they're still in business because of Weird Al Yankovic.
You think so?
Yeah. Because I didn't know they still existed until that commercial.
Or there's a lot of holdout Short Circuit fans who are just like, Kelly Radio Shack out of business. Johnny Five's live because of Radio Shack.
It's true.
Well, thanks for coming on, Ramon. This is good. It'll be a good
Thanks for having
crossover.
me, gentlemen.
Yeah, dude.
Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes or Stitcher, so don't miss the next episode. We'll be talking about, we'll see, won't be Mario Kart. That's going to happen because of podcasting time stream and podcasting time magic.
Right. Earlier when I said I wanted to talk about it on Mario Kart, I really did mean I wanted to.
Clearly we
I
did,
forgot.
and it was wonderful.
You forgot that you wanted to previously and then did.
Exactly.
So next week, I think we're talking about Yoshi's Island.
We'll be talking about something.
Yeah,
Meg's got to be on that one, right?
She wanted to be on that one. And then Other Shit Monday, Ready Player One or something. We don't know. We don't know. That one's a little more fluid. You know what we really like? What keeps us going? Some of those 5-star iTunes reviews, especially the written ones. And it helps you.
3 stars.
Three stars. That was good. That was good. That was good. I appreciate
Mine's
the
going to say
humor.
dick soup.
So if you go to iTunes, leave us a 5-star written review. If there's a game you want us to play or a guest host that you want to have on any certain episode, put that in there. It helps you get on there a little bit. And whatever you put on there, we promise that we will get to it eventually.
Eventually.
I heard you say countdown. That was kind of subliminal.
Just play it in reverse.
I thought he said meow meow. I was a little confused.
It was meow meow.
Yeah, hey man, let us know how you like this episode because, like Tyler said, this is our first time like legitimately making an effort to Skype a guest host in. So, but don't just say you like it because you want us to Skype you in to host a show. We'll know. We'll know if you're doing that.
It's just Paul like, yeah, this is really good. That's good. But about Castlevania Symphony of the Night, 5 stars.
Oh yeah, we still have to do that with Paul.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you brought that up because I had completely fucking forgotten. Don't worry, guys. Like Tyler said, we're gonna be back. We're gonna be talking about God knows what. Maybe more dick soup. Maybe more octo gaping. I don't know. In the meantime, you can always find us on tadpog.com. That's where the show notes live. I need to pay our hosting bill, or you might not be able to find us at all. You can also, what's that?
This is the last one.
Yeah, this is it. In transmission. You can also find us on Facebook. We are at facebook.com/tadpog. There are a lot of cool people there doing a lot of cool shit. If you have anything that you want to tell us about the show, feel free to join us there and let us know on one of the episode posts. We're on Twitter. You can find us at tadpog_podcast. It's cumbersome, I realize. Thank you for everybody who is retweeting and tweeting at us. We really appreciate it. I also want to take a moment. Thanks, Chandra. I received something in the mail from her. I got for a baby, maybe mine, hopefully mine, a hat that she knitted with some glasses connected to it. So
That's awesome.
I've got to take a photograph as soon as the baby comes out. I also
wait until like a couple minutes after.
As soon as
clean this baby off. We got some photos to take.
I don't want to get this hat dirty. Clean that off.
So I work with a lady who also gave me a gift, a knitted gift today. I wasn't expecting this.
Is it a dick beard?
It was a dick beard. Apparently she listens to the show and know that I wanted one really bad.
I don't have one of those.
She knitted me booties that look like black chucks, which I wear black chucks every day.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I'm already geared up to have like a miniature me. Like as soon as this baby comes out, I slap this hat with glasses on and these chuck booties. And I mean,
Teach you to hate all the things you hate, and then it's solid.
Well, I was thinking like then I can just put the baby here when I don't feel like recording because I don't think you're gonna notice the difference, Tyler.
As long as you don't notice me putting Kenna here with the beard hat on.
What'd you think about this game, Dave?
See, that would be funny for a Skype one because I couldn't see you guys. I'd be like, guys,
I feel like I'm talking to some babies here.
stop sucking on the microphone. Come on.
Miller. You can call us if you want. We're at 270-883-2555. Try to keep any questions that you've got to 3 minutes. We love video game questions. We love all things Golden Girls, all things Ninja Turtles, except for meditation. Or,
Send us in your satanic ritual.
Yeah, please send us your best satanic ritual.
Bonus points if it pertains to Archie.
Yeah, we're going to forget we said this, so when you actually send those in, we're going to be freaked out. Thanks again for being on the show, Ramon.
Problem.
Where can we find you again?
You can find me at facebook.com/countdownsquarter, and I'm sure there'll be a link to that in the show notes.
Okay,
If
we got
we
a
pay our
question
bill.
for you. Yeah, we pay our bill.
If you pay your bill.
Ramon, for our show, our theme song, do you know who that's by?
It is not Biscuits by Evan King, because that's mine. Yours is Moves by Sycamore Drive.
Boom.
Nailed
A
it.
link to the track can be found
Oh, shit.
in the show notes.
Oh, with the hat trick.
Haven't been on like 82 episodes. Still did better than Zach.
Oh, that's just better life choices.
Gauntlet thrown.
Bring it.
So we have classic Josh voice. Ramon, we already brought the Josh voice. I feel like we need to.
Oh, hold on. Let me take out my cough drop. Me.
So until next time.
Tropical Capricorn. You sounded like Ghastly.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put my plug wherever I want, I guess. Then,
Well, fuck, man.
if you're being that generous.
God, he put it that way.
Oh man.
Put it in the front, put it in the back.
Whatever you guys want to do.
I don't do this very often, but you can put your plug wherever you want.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Thanks, buddy.